and welcome back to my channel. I'm looking very Wisconsin today, if I might say so myself, with the red checkered shirt and the, you know, Swiss Miss hairdo. I can't help myself. Sometimes the cheddar state just gets you and it won't let go. Carrying on, today we have a SquareHue unboxing today. My box for the month of July, right? That's the month word. July has just arrived, and so we are going to unbox this for you today. SquareHue, for those of you that don't know, is a nail polish subscription service for $20 a month that includes shipping. You get 3 full-size nail polish bottles. This whole year, their theme has been the Decades collection. Each month is a different decade, and now we are in July, and so we are dealing with the 1960s. For those of you that are new to my channel or haven't seen my SquareHue unboxing videos, I am a little bit of a nerd. I will be the first to admit, and I enjoy the histories. I love history. So I like to go through like what happened in the 1960s and try to like predict what's gonna happen in these boxes. So, history lesson time. Let's start with the very beginning. The birth control pill is FDA approved in 1960. Women now have more readily available to them ways of controlling whether or not they get pregnant, which is kind of a push towards women's rights, which we will see more of in the 70s. The building of the Berlin Wall in 1961. In 1962, as far as like the art scene goes, Andy Warhol exhibits his infamous Campbell's soup can art piece. In 1962, we have Marilyn Monroe sings Happy Birthday to JFK. One of the infamous Marilyn Monroe moments where she's singing Happy Birthday in that beautiful dress, that skimpy diamond-clad silhouette dress that's just absolutely gorgeous. But then sadly, later in 1962, Marilyn Monroe was found dead due to a drug overdose. So 1963 was a huge year. We had JFK assassinated in 1963. Martin Luther King makes his I Have a Dream speech in 1963. And for those of us that enjoy Doctor Who, the first episode of Doctor Who was aired in 1963 as well. In 1964, the Beatles finally make it to America and they become a huge hit. And for the rest of the 60s, they are like the #1 thing. I am a huge Beatles fan. I grew up listening to the music. My dad was a huge Beatles fan, so he played the music all the time when we were growing up. A Hard Day's Night and Help, those were our favorite movies growing up as kids, so I am full-heartedly in love with the Beatles. But in 1964, they came to America and kind of blew up the whole scene. In 1965, we have the first US troops being sent into Vietnam, sentenced for the beginnings of the Vietnam War. Also in 1965, we have the LA riots and the assassination of Malcolm X. In 1968, we see 2 more beloved civil rights activists assassinated. We see Martin Luther King assassinated and Senator Robert F. Kennedy assassinated as well in 1968. In 1969, the US is the first to have a man land on the moon. Also in 1969, we have Woodstock. You had artists like Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, all of these really heavy hitters in the end of the 1960s that kind of created this psychedelic movement in music were performing at Woodstock. So with all of these events happening and keeping some of these images in my mind, I am really hoping for like some really kind of psychedelic neons maybe, or like some glitters maybe would be fun. Just something that is completely far out and just out of this world. I have no idea what's in this box and I cannot wait to find out. So we're gonna try and open this up with a screwdriver and see what happens. We got this. I'm nervously excited. Oh no, there goes my card. Okay, I'm nervously excited for what is about to happen in this box. Here comes the card. What do you see? Oh my goodness. Oh no. Oh my, what is this? Do you see this? What? Oh, wow. Oh, yes. Yep. Yep, we're good. We're done. Shut it down. Let's go home. Everybody, call it a day. SquareHue always sends us our little card that has the month that we're dealing with, the decade, and then we have our swatch area over here where you can make our own swatches. So once again, we have Siren kind of telling us a little bit about Woodstock, what happened at Woodstock, what it might have been like. Basically really wet, really soggy, but awesome music and electricity in the air. Now, let's get to the polishes, because just from like the brief looking at these are exactly what I expected, and I'm pumped. I am so pumped up right now. Okay, we're gonna start with Turn On. This is a neon yellow, like highlighter yellow, straight up blinding neon. Labeled as a neon, it's going to dry to a matte finish. I don't think this is my favorite formula for this particular shade. I have other formulas in my collection that are much better than this one, but it's not terrible. It's a little on the patchy side, but it's not horrible. It's just probably not one that I would grab first for this particular color for a neon manicure. The next one is also labeled as a neon matte, and this is Tune In, and it's a neon purple. It's looking rather pink on camera. In my hand, and as I'm looking at it, it looks very, very purpley. I would say very similar to Violet Vibes from China Glaze's Electric Nights collection. Surprisingly opaque. On the swatch stick that I did, I only did 2 coats and you couldn't see through it whatsoever. So I feel like Tune In has the best formula out of all of them. This last one though is the star student valedictorian, takes the cake. Everybody go home because we are done. This one is called Drop Out. It is a purple and blue duochrome. Mamacita, this is beautiful. It looks so pretty in the bottle. The purple is a very lavender, shade of purple, but then the blue is kind of a cerulean royal blue color, and it looks absolutely beautiful in the bottle. It's really, really sheer. You need a couple of coats to really build it up, but it's so pretty. I feel like it's worth it. Also, if you put like a purple base coat on or a blue base coat, it would definitely help your cause very much so. So maybe think of this one more as a topper and less of like an actual like wear it on itself color. I think if you view it more as a topper, it works better instead of like wear this on its own. The phrase turn on, tune in, drop out, which are the names of all of these polishes, is a counterculture phrase that was coined by Timothy Leary. Timothy Leary was a psychologist best known for his studies and writings advocating illicit drugs like LSD. So his catchphrase was turn on, tune in, drop out, which is why I believe they used this in the 1960s box, because that was kind of like the theme for the 1960s, was just experiment, find yourself, do what you need to do what you want to do, and let nobody drag you down. I love these polishes. I think the colors are fantastic. The formulas may need some working on. The formulas are, you know, they're okay. There are some neons out there that I believe for these two that you could find better formulas of, but this duochrome is quite nice. As far as the uniqueness of this, these two neons you can find pretty much anywhere. As far as the formula goes, it's an average neon formula. Nothing to write home about. I don't think you're missing out if you missed out on this box, although this duochrome is quite fantastic and is very, very beautiful to look at. They all really go well together. I feel like you could make a really beautiful manicure with these. I might make my first attempt at water marbling with these because these colors look so good together. I'm kind of tempted to try it. Never done water marbling before. It could be a horrendous disaster, but I'm willing to give it a go because I feel like all of these in like a psychedelic water marbling is just, it has to happen. It just has to happen. I love SquareHue. This whole year has been phenomenal. I don't know where we're gonna go in the 70s. I'm a little concerned about the 70s just because you get some really weird and ugly colors in the 70s, like that burnt orange and olive green and brown. Like, I don't know. I feel like it could go to kind of an ugly place in the 70s, but it could also go like disco and super glitzy. So I'm hoping for disco. I really am. I'm hoping for disco. I don't know. I have no idea what to expect. I'm really excited for next month, and yeah, I cannot wait. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure and subscribe to my channel if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!